Dead Cells. It's supposed to be a hard game, right? What if I told you that the game could be made even harder if you want to do so? We decided to go into custom mode, assist mode, and a couple of player requirements in order to make the ultimate challenge in Dead Cells. We are making the game harder every time we win by creating our own handcrafted difficulties. What could we possibly add to the game to make it even worse, you might be asking? First off, we're playing on 5BC difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty officially in the game right now. Then we have our number of health potions brought from 4 all the way down to 2. These shops are almost pure RNG. We've actually turned off the ability to get the correct colors that we want from shops. 5BC also has a system called Malaise. Malaise usually stops when the in-game timer stops. Malaise is always ticking until we clear the map. The health pots we have actually don't heal our infection. That's from the Malaise again in 5BC. And on top of that, the food on the map has an increased chance of being infected. Dead Cells is also known for cursed chests that kill you if you get hit even one time. Typically, you need to only kill 10 monsters, but here you have to kill 15, 50% more every single cursed chest. Weapon quality is usually something you build up as you progress through the game. We have turned off the highest level of quality, and we now only get ++. S-rank gear only appears at random from cursed chests and sometimes in transition. The assist mode feature in Dead Cells that can tune down the difficulty of the game, we went the opposite way. 150% bonus damage and 150% bonus HP on the monsters. Dead Cells also has mutations you can pick in between every level, up to 3 max. We are eating one of those with the YOLO mutation, which is usually seen as a beginner's mutation. The weapons we find are essentially locked in place because we cannot reforge them with minor forge turned off. We have also added a monster to every map called the Masker. This thing does a cloud around it to hide enemies. You can sort of see their silhouettes, but it becomes a death trap if you don't know what's in there. We have also removed the ability to recycle gear. That means we cannot get most of the gold that's allotted to us. If you get through all of it towards the end of the game, you have to go through 2 of the worst biomes in the entire game. One being Distillery, or you have to fight Dracula going through Dracula's castle. So with all of that turned on, we've already cleared that much. We're adding in a new one that you are going to see once we kill our first boss, and that is the boss's last gift. Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to BC Climbing. We have to play tactics today. And I'm kind of excited because, to be honest, I haven't really done a tactics run in quite a while. I did have some deaths that you may have seen in the intro screen, but this setup, flashing fans plus the cross, I'm kind of a big fan of the flashing fans right now. I did have to do a quick check to just make sure I can't reflect back my own cross. Nice little reflect right there. I don't usually go for it if I have to go out of my way. If it's a very easy parry of a projectile, especially if I can dodge back, then I do that. Now this Masker, that's for one of the BCs that we added. It doesn't sound like much, but once you get in a spot where you actually can't see a rampager's coming for you, it's actually really nasty. So we have one right here, and there's a surprise jump scare Oven Knight just staring in our face. But I mean, we've dealt with it for long enough. I feel as though I have gotten used to it by now. Giant whistle, probably better than the door. Keep in mind, I can't sell any of the stuff that I'm seeing. So as we're going through, I don't want to see a comment saying, V, why didn't you sell the door? That could have been $50,000 on the table. And no, you cannot when you're at 19 basically. Now, unfortunately, I don't bother trying to reflect a Demolisher's bazooka shot. It's really dangerous to do that. So we're just gonna play it safe with the cross. Failed Experiment Twins, by the way. I don't want to say it's a common ability for this elite to get, but Failed Experiment actually has some banned elite abilities. So that's why that comes up so often. Nice little Rampager, taking its sweet time to die. As I just try to make my way down to the masker, you can kind of tell we don't really have a ton of damage on the table. But easy curse. I mean, to be fair, magnetic grenade is tactics. We have to have tactics stuff if we plan on beating the game. And I have no money, so I don't even really have the option to just straight up buy the golden door. I may as well just do this. Classic double jump, roll through the laser. If you haven't learned that one, please do so. You'll also notice I'm not taking the amulet. For those who may have seen videos recently, and we've been doing it for a while, where we take a double color necklace into the next biome. In this case, I have a double green amulet, while I have my 2 points in purple. And that is because we are trying to manipulate the game into thinking, hey game, I'm going survival. Please give me tactics. I would hate to see tactics. And if it shows up, then that's great. First door. Now I could have gone with the electric whip. I decided not to because Arboretum's actually very good for flashing fans. You get to knock away all the mushroom boys and get the crits out of it. We did have to take our mandatory YOLO too. That's another part of the BC climbing. You may think to yourself it's not all that impactful, but if you look at this stuff, I'm doing negative damage to these enemies. Point blank, tranquility, crow's feet even. I would have taken anything. Ow. I actually pressed the Y button thinking it's my shield that I had on one of my other runs before I died and had to start up this one. Quick bow. Mayhaps this does more damage than flashing fans. Maybe I'm wrong. Let us go back. So here's a reflect. The mushroom boy is almost like a projectile in and of itself. Oh my god, I actually got hit into the laser beam by the other mushroom daddy. I mean, it's fine. Because of Cross, I got most of my health back. Cross is actually very good at what we call recovery, that yellow health. One more point into tactics, into a cursed chest. More tactics on the table, and a mushroom boy, which in all honesty, and if you're playing ranged tactics, I think you take the mushroom boy. It's a little bit of anti-synergy with the cross. Like, I can't just throw the cross and expect to do damage because mushroom boy is gonna knock them away. But for everything else in the tactics kit, quick bow, for example, that was up top, assuming it actually killed something, it would work out pretty well. Ooh, stage fatality. Now, personally, we could have taken the lightning bolt with Mushroom Boy, and like maybe that could have done something. But right now, I'm kind of trusting in the power of the flashing fans, especially while cursed. If you don't realize, I'm at 5 going down into 4. I could have actually cleansed this curse earlier. Ooh, legendary pyro. Okay, so this is one of the new legendaries. You all may not have seen it. I don't even remember what it did back on the legendary tier list. I'm sure someone could take a look and let us know. But the new version picks up fire around it and increases its damage based off of that. It does an explosion too. It looks kind of weird. I actually don't know if it does anything. But you'll see it in just a sec as soon as I get an actual monster who doesn't, there we go, instantly die. So you see there's like all that fire on the ground. That is the explosion. I don't think the explosion technically does damage. It just puts fire everywhere. And then like the flames from the pyro get sucked up and the pyro does extra damage. So Barnacle that leaves a trail of flames feels like that could be a really cool synergy with this thing. But the Barney is kind of weird. It's like, because it's shooting at an angle, I think the fire only really works on the point it lands. So I'm not getting much benefit from rocking this thing. But you know what we do need? We need an oil source. Right now, my current oil source is my mushroom. If I could get a thrown weapon that has oil on it, maybe like a kunai or even boy axe, what would be really cool is yeetable. the Katana Zero weapon. I think that would actually, wow, nice spots. See the explosion and all the fire up there that now I can't utilize because I came down? It's a really cool concept. Almost feels like you're playing Path of Exile. You could maybe go a full burn build or something. Okay, Wolf Trap does have oil. It's not like the best oil source, but we're gonna need this for elites and bosses, especially if I'm gonna go Conjunctivius. Now I'm going backwards because I actually think I saw, yeah, a secret within a secret. 500 bucks? I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Viewers, if you've seen that combination before, let me know in the comments. Okay, so here's a shop. We're looking for something oily. Could be Oily Owl. I passed Oily Serenade. Oily Sickle could be interesting, but that requires you to be close range. Oily Heavy Turret could have been okay, but we decided not to. Upon leaving, networking on the table, bank on the table. Not the smartest decision to go in here, by the way, especially before the first boss. But I mean, hey, legendary pyrotechnics. What's the worst that could happen? Now, bank in this phase, I believe we are going to see only one scroll. I'm also a little low on health, so we gotta be really careful. But the one scroll is accounting for the same thing that Prison Depths would have given us. Technically, there's no benefit to going here except for a high-powered weapon. There's honestly triple the biome, if not quadruple the biome length compared to Prison Depths. So if you have like homework to do, if you got dinner to cook, I don't suggest coming here as a replacement for Depths. Look at this crab though. Couldn't even kill it. Maybe the fire would have done something, but we'll be fine. I do like to get the Cursed Chest ASAP. That at least gives me the chance to get my stats up. It is literally one stat, but every little bit counts, I promise. Wolf Trap is higher level, would do a little bit more damage in the circumstance we find a Gold Gorger or something, so sure, we'll take it. I'm not really thinking about oil, except for the Mushroom Boy, or if I find a new source. Really, what I'd love to do is have like a Hokuto's bow with oil on it. I think that would be perfect. But hey, this is Dead Cells in 19 BC. Chance of that showing up, next to 0. Technically, Bank has 2 shops in it. There could be like double weapon shop, double the chance at Hokuto's bow. If we get in the circumstance where, hey, Hokuto is the mimicked item, then we might be able to keep it for the whole game. But also keep in mind, I cannot re-roll anything that we find. So even if I find a Hokuto's bow, it's stuck the way it is. See, look at Wolf Trap. Wow, that was really close. Being the only way we can get through that. Couple bats. One problem I always had with pyrotechnics is you can't aim up with it. So bats do become an issue. If you can get a pyrotech that has like the shoot and arrow upwards, it's not as bad. I do have it, but I can't re-roll at all. Nice Gold Gorger taken out. Pyrotechnic's also a really good weapon for fishing. I don't really do a ton of fishing, K-Kona, but to be honest, this is probably one of the best in class to do it. All right, new shop, new chance for oily stuff. Another wave of denial. It is oily, but I don't want to get close to monsters. Oily heavy turret could be okay, but like going monster to monster in a biome, it's just not gonna be enough. I can't throw it at everything. I'd rather the Mushroom Boy give me that one hit that I need. Here we go, box this up. So like if I drop the heavy turret up top, oh my god. Hang on. Number 3, drop down, wolf trap it, go from up here. Surprised that hitbox actually works. If I were to think if like an indie dev was to code Gold Gorger, Guaranteed its hitbox looks nothing like the size of it. More maskers. Technically, I think the master is supposed to be here in the prison depths route. So that's not a new addition. I do also have other things I could add, like bats, for example, but I think the bats make things a little too easy, especially if I had a curse, for example. You know what isn't making things easy is this malaise. So bank, of course, 9-mile long biome. We will get to 10 malaise. There's not really much I can do about it. Though we do have a couple of elites here. Every elite's like half a bar. So if I could just get through these, watch the meter. 1 gone, 2 gone. That's like a bar and a sliver. It's not even a quarter, my God. Another elite. Wolf trap it, attack from here. Doesn't teleport until, wow, I don't even think Wolf Trap ended before it teleported. But hey, that's fair. More elites, Gold Gorger tier 3 just walking around in its natural habitat. Why? Like, that's another jump scare. Oh, that's 1. Give me another. That's 2. 1 more. Nope. Instant teleport. This is where the Wolf Trap matters. I don't know if Mushroom Boy is breaking the Wolf Trap. It's kind of weird. Kind of a rough fight, to be honest, but maybe Wave of Denial would have been okay there. Laser Glaive. Let's go ahead and take this. It's not oily, unfortunately, so I can't do cool stuff with it. If I put it in my Y button, like, you have this wind up before you actually get to shoot with it. I feel like that's a little too long. We'll keep the cross. We're not really gonna use the cross. I'll probably go for Acrobatic Pack. Couple more cells here. Medusa, not oily. Let's move on. Though there is a shield, so technically I can just grab this, knowing I'm fighting Conjunctivius or something. I really don't have a ton of cash though, so not the best idea to just blow it all here. Vampire Killer, like, it's cool and all, but I kind of want to play networking because I don't know if y'all have seen the new networking. It's like really good. So we go into Celeste. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. This is not something that I usually screw up, but rest assured that's only because I have a lot of hours in the game. Having extra jumps on your amulet helps too. I don't believe I do in this circumstance, but a nice clean walkthrough. Nice money too. What's that, like $4,000? Fear Factor style, just do this tightrope walk and you'll score $4,000 if the other person can't. Exit the bank. Onward to not an item for me, I'm sure. New Wolf Trap, we're not gonna take it. Ours is okay as is. Final mutation until something else shows up. We're gonna go Acrobatic Pack, I believe. And that's because even if we don't have an oily item, just having that bounce on the Laser Glaive is probably better than having nothing, right? You could maybe go Wolf Trap. That helps out against that runner that was running at me. You can go Support. That way, if you decide, you know, maybe I'm not gonna do the Mushroom Boy, then we have lots of bonus damage coming out. This map, of course, with the masker. They're on every map, by the way. That's why the game is harder. Does make it a little difficult to see where the mushrooms are. So you'll end up in these situations where, okay, I'm fighting and then there's spikes. Magically spikes below my feet. Let me just stop what I'm doing and take care of this. Festering Zombie. I believe these used to be called Purulent Zombies. But I think now maybe the Purulent Zombie is Queen Bee. Typically see her in the graveyard. Still not too bad of a fight. Moving on. I can barely see what's in this hallway until you're right on top of it. If that was a pink tentacle, I think we would have screwed over. We do have to check every item. Anything that's oily is a possibility, but of course I'd prefer it to be tactics. And oh yeah, I can't sell that either. 4BC door. More monsters. This is where the laser glaive comes in clutch. Imagine if that was oily and you'd be able to oil up the entire hallway. I'm gonna assume the game is gonna troll me the whole game. Like if I were to keep count of how many items I see that don't have oil, I assume it's gonna be every single item. 90% won't have oil, is my guess. You take for granted things like re-rolling. I never knew it would be this important in Dead Cells, but hey, if you ever think about how do I make the game harder, try not re-rolling ever. Just use the item as is. Oily Tornado technically could be good, but it's not good enough because it only lasts on one platform. If it was like Medusa, where it would actually go to the next platform down, I think I would take it. Or hey, better yet, if there was like a legendary tornado, challenge rift, nice to see. A legendary that maybe, my god, those are so loud. A legendary that maybe picks up my fire and lets it go, that would be kind of cool. But alas, tornado is still, where did the world of that laser glaive go? It's not super great. It's okay versus Conjunctivius because you're kind of fighting in a box, but we'll just keep the Mushroom Boy. It's literally the best oil I have as of right now. So we clear these out. Inside, our reward is ice. That is not oil. It is the exact opposite, as a matter of fact. We do have the challenge rift. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. This I just time. There's like a little, not a ledge really, but the roof comes down a little bit, and I use that as my indicator that I need to do another jump. Funny that back in the day, the saw blades were not dodge rollable. I don't know what time they decided to change that, but a fun fact. Magnetic doesn't help us. Serenade can be oily, but I prefer something tactics. Oily Owl, not on the table. They're all cleaned up. Oily Tentacle, no thank you. Hokuto's Bow, not oily, but in the backpack. No, in the primary. Because it would probably make more sense to just shoot the Hokuto whenever I see anything, and then still have Laser Glaive. That probably makes the most sense. So that's a cleared Ancient Sewers. We'll head into Conjunctivius. I can't do anything in the transition room. Don't even ask what I did because it's all closed. It's all turned off. Conjunctivius. Remember, the first attack is always a dash. If you have a shield, you could sit there and wait. But we got Wolf Trap. We want to get into damage ASAP. There's the second dash. No fear. We know where it's going. Now we're feared. You know, I have no idea if that actually does damage. One of these days, I'm gonna sit here and just wait and see what happens. Assuming I don't need a no-hit. Wolf Traps make good work of the tentacles. Of course, it does waste my Wolf Trap, however. Imagine if I had it right there. That'd be a perfect setup. Let's just pray that it goes back in. No, we're not. Okay, here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, we're dancing a little bit. I think at one point it would stay in the Wolf Trap regardless of the phase change and allow you to do damage. So I'm kind of surprised that we still had this tentacle phase. Either way, with the fire on the ground, I think the Hokuto's Bow is just killing it by itself. You don't even have to damage the tentacles. All it has to do is pass through fire, and the Hokuto starts proccing. Good Wolf Trap. For some reason, it went toward me to trap itself again. I think the Conjunctivius was actually done. But now we have the new BC19 modifier. We call this the boss's last gift. We're gonna pick up our scrolls, but then the boss gives 2 weapons. And what we have decided to do is that the 2 weapons are mandatory pickups. So I need my Mushroom Boy, but I guess I'm gonna take the Knife Dance just to make sure that we have kill pressure. Bone, I will probably have to yeet my Acrobatic Pack item. Like, yeah, it was kind of nice to walk around with the laser glaive, but I'd rather have the Hokuto than have the laser glaive. Now with Wolf Trap, you could probably go Slumbering Sanctuary because you do have some options versus the Golem. I'm just a little worried that, like, if I aggro a Golem at max range with Pyro and Hokuto, maybe I'll get tagged by the down slam. Legendary Shovel. Secrets found in the walls have increased rarity. What that means is that if you use the shovel to open up whatever the item is, it should have like a bonus whatever to it. I guess a 250 goes to a 500, a croissant probably goes to a baguette. Graveyard time. We should probably check over here first to see if we have something that has oil on it. Another laser glaive. If we had oil, come on. Funny enough, way back in the day, Pyrotechnics Legendary used to be able to get oil on hit. I don't know who may have reported that. Please don't blame me for it. All I'm gonna say is that at some point it vanished and was never seen again. Transforming Elite. You're dead. I was actually going to wait, but I guess it just bled to death. Graveyard, I usually don't have an issue with. Kind of depends on where the cannibals are. Any platform that has both a cannibal, which is this thing right here, and the grappler, which is the like scorpion hook guy, that's where you end up in trouble. Okay, so that was 250. The shovel's in the backpack, so the next time I open up some kind of floor rune or wall rune, I'll try to do it with the shovel actually equipped. Key time. So as we go through, get rid of the masker. Let's meet the foggers. We honestly shouldn't have too much issue. Hokuto's bow does very well on this map because it's really condensed. It's almost like you're back in the sewers where every monster is like a couple inches away from each other. So as long as I have monsters, and really the networking helps too. Okay, that's a spite sword, not an oil source. Worms, that is an oil source, so technically it works, I hope. Only one way to find out. Weapon shop. Oil. Oil. No oil. Oil. No oil. My God. Alright, I mean, hey, this is a roguelike we're talking about. The best thing about roguelikes is the RNG, right? You end up with Hades where you could just take the same thing every single run with a keepsake. So we may as well count our blessings. No oil still. I would have even backpacked that thing, knowing it wouldn't work on every monster in the hallway. Take care of this. Moving on, we have a monster changing into an elite. Let's let it change, maybe not. I don't think the worms are doing anything, by the way. Like, if I could actually see a monster doused in oil, look at this. I kill the things before the worms even get to it. I almost feel like you need Yorick from League of Legends. Shout out to all my League players. Okay, oily cannon. It's okay, but I think I'd rather have the wolf trap. Fire grenade, fire blast. Things that actually need oil, funny enough. So we hop into the curse. I was saying about the Yorick, it would be kind of cool if the worms could like jump to the enemies if I hit them one time. I don't know if there's any thing in the game that currently does that. Even Lil Staffy doesn't. Okay, so we're taking this flawless. Tactics flawless, I feel like is actually good. Because if you think about it, flawless needs you to be taking no damage. And tactics does not want to take damage. Only thing is, it's kind of hard to kill stuff now. This is a stun on hit flawless though, so to be fair, this is probably the best way to run flawless. Okay, I see a legendary. I see an elite too. My God, I thought I was gonna die just then. Two more. Aggro the cannibal. Probably my wormettes that did it. Okay, it doesn't though. Kill that. One more. Give me the bat. Thank you, game. Legendary quick bow. Is that what I see? Wolf trap. I mean, in another universe, I could probably run the flawless, reset out of the networking and acrobatic pack setup, and then it would actually be good. Think maybe like a Boyax or Medusa plus flawless, probably legit, but hey, quick bow legendary gets bonus damage on your crits. We're kind of strong, right? 2, 24, 3. And this actually works pretty well with networking. I don't know what the difference was between the Arboretum quick bow and this legendary one. I assume it was like just low stats. I'll grab this. Keep my blaze under control. The blowgun we will put in the backpack because we actually have poison damage, like bonus to poison damage on the quick bow. Sepulcher. What I usually do in Sepulcher, I like to see where my curse chest is. So it's here. We want to make sure there's no jump puzzle after. Oh my god. Okay. I feel like I just wasted most of those monsters. Yeah, none of that counted towards the curse. So funny enough, they nerfed poison. It won't kill you if you're above 1 HP. It'll like only take you down to 1. But to be fair, we're in a good spot. Dang, I was trying to record this in one take too, and my cat actually interrupted me. All right, time to be safe. So we're going through again. I have to get the light every single time because I'm a little too scared to just hard commit. To be fair, you don't actually die to the curse if you take darkness damage. It just burns you out. That is different than poison. Poison will actually kill you in toxic sewers, for example. One thing that I didn't point out, so if you don't notice, I'm rocking an infantry grenade here with my quick bow. That is future proofing. What I'm trying to do is, if I'm going to use quick bow versus bosses, I need a way to get my ammo back. In Dead Cells, there's a couple different ways to get ammo. One is by parrying. I think you can full block too. And attack, and that will give you your ammo. The other, very hard to see. The other is using a skill that gets you ammo. And the main skills that do that are grenades. So, unfortunately, because my RNG has been trash, the only grenades I have been able to find are brutality grenades. So, we'll take anything, really. Luckily, we aren't looking... Ooh, poison the enemy wolf trap. That will actually kill an enemy by itself. Oil grenade, I mean... We don't need oil, unfortunately. I kind of wish there were other synergies besides, you know, burning oil. But it's gotta be better than infantry grenade. So let's just go ahead and take it. Moving on. Poison damage from the blowgun. Look at that. So a little funny tech is that poison, if it kills the enemy, it does a cloud. And that cloud goes through walls for some reason. So if it kills a bat especially, it will chain to the next bat over. And as you know, bats only have like 1 HP or something anyway, so it's really, really cool. That's why your alchemic carbines clear hallways sometimes. Heavy turret, double turret build, probably okay, but I'm just really worried about the ammo situation. I don't want to end up stuck. Full reset. We're gonna opt into support now instead of the networking. Going into Timekeeper, there's really nothing to network anyway, so I may as well buff myself on this boss, hoping for a no-hit, to be perfectly honest. I want another legendary. Not that I don't like the quick bow. Quick bow is doing great, but I don't really want to have a oil grenade. Good damage. Ooh, so that's my bad. Here, I was thinking I was out of range. I 100% had an entire sword go through my body. Look at all the arrows stuck in Timekeeper. But see how I'm getting low on ammo? If this was some other boss with a higher HP value, Hand the King, Dracula, whatever, I think I would have ran out of ammo. All right, bosses, parting gift. This one's easy because the wolf trap just replaces the wolf trap I have. So after we get our stats up, 331.4, that seems kind of good. Oh no, we're losing the poison. Crap, I forgot about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take the lightning bolt. I mean, having the poison damage it's not on my wolf trap anymore. So I actually lost the poison synergy on my quick bow. I mean, we can hope that we see something again, but it's kind of cool, right? So we're losing weapons. Really, so what I thought this was gonna be was almost like Hades, where you have toll or tax or something like that. Someone in the comments, if you know which Pact of Punishment thing I'm talking about, let me know. So my expectation is that as you go through the transition of a boss, you have to like remove one of your boons, and in this case, like the boon is our weapon. And the boss gives you 2 anyway, so it means that I don't really have to make up a way to get items. I just take whatever came from the boss. It's pure RNG. It could be double survival items while I'm playing tactics, and it's completely useless. It could be curse sword, for example, and like now we're double screwed. Thank you, Grandpa. So I think it's a cool idea. If you like it, let me know. Going into Dracula's castle, if you remember, the last BC was mandatory distillery, but we actually have not done BC climbing since Dracula DLC came out. So I figure, you know, it's probably fair. Wow. That is unfortunate. That's a 15 curse in Dracula's castle. This is RNG too. They actually removed the guarantee curse from this map and made it the chance to like convert the current chest into a cursed one. This is, I think, my first time ever getting the curse off of this. Chest, give me something to replace lightning? No. Moving on. 15 monsters here. Usually not that bad, but oh my god. I didn't even see that. Was that invisible? Anyway, so as I was saying, this map, usually not that bad, but with the masker, as well as monsters that can attack through walls, the armor, as well as the skeleton, that, oh my god. Jump scare. Imagine actually fighting that elite skeleton. What if that was the last skeleton I had to deal with? Where's the werewolf? I would have sworn it would have chased me down. I don't know why it just chilled like that. Team Jacob? Oh, wow. That was not safe. So, like, I threw the wolf trap, but because it was at the last moment... No, Grandpa! That's messed up. I mean, I'll take the money. If it was $4,000, I could have bought a health flask. Medusa time? Very ooh. Turning into an elite in front of me? I don't know about that play. What I was gonna say was that the wolf trap, combined with the fact that you can roll behind her while she's doing the laser beam, like it would have been legit, but she just threw the game by herself. I feel like I didn't even have to do anything. Wow, thank you, game. I don't know what happened this run, RNG-wise, for gear. I feel like I got screwed. I didn't even get enough money to buy a new health flask. I'm $3,000 away from buying a health flask. That's the poverty run. That's the lack of recycle. All right, last bit, reset, YOLO mandatory. Give me support. That way we get bonuses off of the wolf trap, I believe. We'll take a Tranquilo along with it. All right, Master's Keep. Final attempt, 19 BC. We have died twice in the very beginning. I kind of showed a little bit of that, but Please assume I have died 2 times in order to get here. Playing tactics against Dracula, usually not too bad, but Dracula is immune to a lot of different kinds of stuff. I don't think Wolf Trap works. It's just there to give me some support. Watch my ammo count. Because remember, I could have taken ammo too. Ooh, we're doing chunksters. Oh my god. There's YOLO. That's unfortunate. All right, roll here. Very nice spot. Kind of duck down to make sure that I don't accidentally move forward. But see how I'm out of ammo? I got an oil grenade to get it all back. All right, so first phase done. We got tagged 1 time, so RIP legendary in my Dead Cells 2 save. I decide not to take this stuff. I'm kind of on the fence about like boss's last gift, also including these, because the other bosses don't have to deal with that. Well, servants would. You would do it for Hand of the King no matter what, because there's another biome left. Either way, in the comments, let me know how you think. Like, should I take those in future Dracula kills or not? Dracula Final Form. Final Form in all red because it is slightly different than 0 BC Final Form. Easy dodges. Wolf Trap once again there for emotional support and nothing else. Give me some ammo. Not very good damage, just to say that. The rocks aren't usually all that bad to dodge. If you just jump, chances are it's not going to land. Oh my god. Famous last words, by the way. All right, so we have one. No, we used our last health pot. Okay. Just dodge those. A little low on ammo, but luckily we have the phase change. We'll get it back. I always go from the left here. I don't know if anyone out there goes from the right-hand side. I feel like the right hand doesn't really give me as much room to work in. Might be sort of a copium. But few bullets here. We're not getting any benefit from tranquility. Maybe point blank would have been better. It works here, right? But as soon as quick dodges and then get a little closer, as soon as I'm here, which, funny enough, I'm only getting support. I was not getting tranquility. Okay. Big difference. All right, not that bad. I was a little worried when I got command grabbed it by Dracula 1. You never ever want to see that. And at one point, it actually used to go through disengage. I'm not using disengage because I have mandatory YOLO, but in a world where like I find a way to remove a mutation and only have 2 left, if I have to take disengage, there's a high chance that he would have killed me through it with the command grab. Either way though, very, very cool run. I enjoy playing tactics. I hope you all enjoyed it too. This is a very different way for me to run in Dead Cells. If you enjoyed it, I tried to do it in 1 take, like a little Bobby Tarantino, but I got interrupted by my cats, which is fair. But if you like this style of recording for a Dead Cells run, let me know and we can try to do that for maybe other BCs going forward. The next time we do this, I think I have to play survival. That will be 20 BC. I don't know what 20 BC is as of right now, but if you have ideas, post them in the comments. I'm always looking for new ways to incorporate challenge in Dead Cells. If you want to see more BC climbing, check out these links on your screen. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed it and catch you on the next one.